Yo, 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 YouTube, Matt M. Roy back with you once again. A little bit early, making sure that we're live. Are we live? Hello, 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 hello. Testing, testing, testing. One, two, three. Are we live? Internet's been kind of wonky lately, but I think we'll be all right. Try to do a little adjusting here. There we go. Dabbler's Buffet is here. Hey, Dabbler, nice to see you again. So, yeah, we got a lot more people here right now. I think you are the first one. Loud and clear, says George Blakely. Before we officially get started, I want to read something here. This is really funny. Biden cuts hole in mask so he can still sniff people's hair. Joe Biden has committed to wearing a mask in public to be a good example to prevent the spread of I almost said the word. I can't say the word. The situation. Aides were disappointed with a little frightened, however, when Biden immediately cut a large hole in the middle of the mask so he could continue to invade people's personal space and sniff their hair, necks, and faces. Staffers usually don't let Biden play with sharp objects, but he managed to find some safety scissors stashed behind the Metamucil in the campaign bus. Using the purple plastic scissors, he cut a large hole and then fitted the mask to his face, confident that he was protecting himself and others from the virus. Well, folks, I honestly don't even know what to say about that. Am I surprised? No, not really. Knowing all the crazy stuff he's done in the past, I'm a little freaked out that he's a possible candidate. To think that a possible candidate would actually do something like that, that just really freaks me out. But I thought I'd go ahead and put that in there anyway. All right, so I got to look up what in the world did I even name this thing. I was getting really whimsical with the titles here. Now is the time to, with a lot of question marks. Well, now is the time to. The reason, why did I do that? Well, when all this craziness is said and done, we're going to have a lot of opportunity. We have some opportunities now, but not really that much because we're all kind of stuck in our houses, social distancing. We're, doing this, we're doing that, but we're not really able to make any type of money, if you will. So I want to know what all you guys are going to do when this is all said and done. What kind of opportunities do you hope are going to be open to all of you out there? Let me know in the comments. I'm kind of curious. So I'm going to read this real quick. Paul Kane wrote a very nice message to me. He hasn't been to one of these live streams in a while. I don't know if he's going to make it to this one or not, but he said, "Sir, I missed the live stream. I see you have got a haircut. Rain. We were supposed to be getting some rain, but we had gotten a narrow band through, well, blah, blah, blah. Wait." So he kind of spaced them out into different categories. So now we're on to wait. Congratulations. Job well done. His vice is also coffee. So ideas. Would be cool to see you dig through your LP records and show us what you have. All right, Paul. That is something I've wanted to do for a really, really long time. And I'm going to go ahead and show a few of those records right now that I actually have right here. So the first one, these are the ones that I listen to more often than not. These are the ones I actually keep out. First one here, Little River Band, Diamantina Cocktail. This is one of my absolute favorite LPs. I have played this so many times. It's in decent shape still. I try to do right by my records and, not really get all my fingerprints on them. I clean them off as much as possible. But if you look back there, you can see you have Bundaberg rum, condensed milk. So apparently they're making pina coladas back there. And I never even took the time to look at it that closely. But some of the really good songs on here: Help Is on the Way, Happy Anniversary probably being the most popular out of all the songs that are on here. Another Runaway, The Inner Light, and Broke Again. And I could sing a little bit of that one. Oh, I'm broke again. Blew my money on the smell of gin. Oh, here I go again. Going down on the same old sin. Oh, I know I'm wrong. Oh, I'm broke again. Blew my money, now I'm broke again. It's not perfect, but it's the best I can do right now. Robert Jones is here. William McCullough made it. Awesome. We'll go do another one here real quick. And these are not ones that I've picked up recently. These are just select ones that I've had in my collection for a long time and just been kind of wanting to show off. And I figured since I have the time to do it, why not? Now, this one is a little worse for wear. This is Oliver from the motion picture release Oliver in 1968, starring Mark Lester as Oliver. You got Ron Moody as Fagin. Mr. Bumble is Harry Seacombe. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Where is it on here? Oliver Reed is Bill Sykes. He was one of the scariest dudes. I remember seeing this movie when I was a kid, and he freaked me out. He had to be the most evil-looking guy I have ever seen in a movie, and it just totally freaked me out. But he played that part really, really well. And if you look inside, you could see some of the artwork there. I really like the way they did the LPs back then. They really took time to put the color photos in. They have a little biography of all the actors, who they are, and what they've been in before. Now, like I said, the record in here is actually in pretty bad shape, and it's actually not even in here. You know where this record is? It's up on that thing. But great, great LP, and this has got all the songs from that movie. It's actually a musical, but I just say it's a movie to me, because if you're a guy and you say it's a musical, they're like, "Oh, you're a guy. You're not supposed to like musicals." Well, you know what? That's a good one, folks. All right, next we have an oldie but a goodie, another oldie. Billy Joel, Songs in the Attic. Now, this was released in 1977, and basically what this is an album of songs that, for one reason or another, were never released on other previous albums. So basically, these are songs that he might have sung in concerts from one time to another, but he never actually released. So up until this point, you can never get these songs. And I love the name Songs in the Attic, because to me, that just says it all. It's like you went up in his attic one day, you looked at all these songs and said, I need to go ahead and release these. So, and it's funny because quite a few of the songs on here are very well known now. So I'll read off a few of them. Miami 2017, Seen the Lights Go Out on Broadway, Summer Highland Falls, Street Life Serenader, She's Got Away, Say Goodbye to Hollywood, Captain Jack, The Ballad of Billy the Kid, and You're My Home. I know a lot of these wound up being very popular, and these songs were actually released later on other albums too, but before this, you really could never get these songs again. And show you this. Pictures of Billy Joel as a kid, some biography info there. I just really enjoy watching or looking at these old albums. They really did a good job with the artwork in here. I have to commend them for doing that. You don't get that today. When you download MP3s and you put them on CD, or you listen to them on your iPod or your phone, you're missing something. With this, you're closer to the music, you're closer to the artist, and to be honest with you, I just really like the sound of LPs. Okay, hey Matt, I haven't gotten your last 3 stream notifications. I'm not surprised. YouTube is being inundated with people doing live streams now, so stuff like that's going to happen. The best thing I tell you to do is just make sure you subscribe to my channel and you click that bell icon to enable all the notifications. Awesome. Mark Covington has that album too. It's a great album. It really is. Well, I guess we can do a few more. Once again, I want to know what everybody's going to do after all this craziness is over. What are your dreams? What are your plans? Maybe to make it big. Hey, maybe now that you've had a lot of time to yourself and had time to think about what direction you want to move your life in, you have a better idea of what you want to do next. Put it in the comments. I'm curious. Let me know what everybody wants to do when all this craziness is over. All right, so a couple more albums here. Helen Reddy. This is a classic one. A lot of you may not even know who she is, but she's an Australian singer slash actress. She actually was in the 1977 movie Pete's Dragon. She was Nora. And to be honest with you, she looks so good here. They made her look really frumpy in that movie. I don't know why. They probably did that on purpose because it was set in the 1890s, and that was just kind of the clothing at the time. There are not a lot of songs though on this album that I'm really familiar with, and it's kind of a shame because I like her music. I think it's the only album I actually have of hers. Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady, Bluebird, Don't Let It Mess Your Mind, Somewhere in the Night. It's probably the only one I actually know, but a lot more of her famous songs were on, I think, the previous album. This was actually one of her later releases. But the records are all in good shape. I always keep my records in good shape. Inundated, filled, full of, kind of. You can look it up, Mark. Look it up online. I'm not 100% sure. I'll look at that later. I'm not sure why it's saying that my content's only for kids. I got to look into that. Next one, we have Carpenters, Now and Then. This one apparently I got at a garage sale, and you see got $1 price tag on it. Either that or I tried selling it at one point at a garage sale. Karen Carpenter. Look at that, folks. You don't get that nowadays. How many of you see portraits like that in CDs or cassettes? You just can't do it. There's something to be said about analog audio. And look at this. Look at this. I didn't even notice that. So you got Karen on this side, and you got Richard on this side, and then you got all the songs there. Hopefully that's coming in to focus, but this one is Now and Then. Again, this particular one does not necessarily have a lot of their bigger hits on it, but this is another record that I do like to listen to every once in a while. And we'll do one more before we start getting some questions. What is with this webcam? I got to switch them out. Al Stewart, Time Passages. Very, very famous album from the 1970s. And if you look in the back here, that is the epitome of 1970s. Not only the clothing, but the actual facade on that house, that kind of wooden, I don't know what you actually call this, like wooden asbestos wood kind of. I don't know what they actually call it, but fun fact, this is very similar to what the house that I grew up in was sided in. And actually very similar color too. And that house was built in like 1972. Songs on here: Time Passages, most famous one, Valentina Way, Life in Dark Water. That's another good one. They're all kind of, this is what I would kind of call hippie music or mood music. But if it's late at night and you want to relax and you kind of want to just let your mind wander, this is the kind of music to listen to, folks. I can show you one of the records. I mean, but it's nothing special. I mean, they're just regular albums. They're not like face discs or color discs or anything like that. There's nothing special about them. Actually, the best part is seeing the jacket, in my opinion. You know, I should have brought my water with me. I drank a whole bunch before this, but my mouth is getting dry again. Dabbler's Buffet. Mr. Roy, since you're looking for more content to add to your channel, how about you do some dumpster diving videos? Load up that Yukon XL. That is a very good idea and something I have been considering. But right now, with all the stores being closed, there's no point doing it because they're not actually throwing things out. Now, once everything's up and running again, yeah, I mean, we have PetSmart, Petco, those places around here. They throw away food all the time. Definitely a possibility. I'm going to keep that in mind. I appreciate that recommendation. I know, Danny. I miss the thrift store finds too. I'm really going to do more of those, and I think once all this craziness is over, the thrift store is just going to be inundated because, believe it or not, even though the thrift stores in my area and probably in your area too are not open, they're still taking donations. So I can't even imagine the amount of stuff that they have sitting in the warehouses. So once they do open again, it's going to be all bets off because you're going to be able to find anything there. So to give you guys a little bit of hope coming here in the near future, think about that. How many great thrift store hauls are going to happen once everything opens up again? I don't know about computers and electronics in the dumpster. Best Buy, believe it or not, would probably be the only one, that and Office Max, and both of those in my area use sealed dumpsters. And believe it or not, they actually have a crusher or a trash compactor that breaks up and compacts everything before it even hits the dumpster. So it's a little unfortunate. There really aren't any other places. Maybe Walmart would be the only one that I can think of. But as far as I know, even their dumpsters are padlocked. Generally, the ones that are open to the public are the stores, at least in my area, like Gabe's, which is like a department store, the pet stores, Petco, PetSmart, Dollar Tree. Those are the ones that generally leave their dumpsters unlocked, and I guess for good reason. I mean, even if somebody takes something, what do they care, right? There's no security risk because you got to remember, with places like Best Buy and Office Max, they do computer repairs, and from time to time, they actually take people's old technology, which includes desktops, laptops, tablets, and things like that. And they'll throw that stuff out. They don't recycle it. Don't let them fool you. They do not recycle that stuff at all. So if they didn't crush it, it would be a security risk because then somebody like unscrupulous person, not me, but an unscrupulous person could go in there, take it, and steal the information off. A very similar thing happened with Goodwill back around the year 2000. And that's why Goodwill does not sell basically computers in their stores other than ones that they refurbish. Back in the day, they used to just do what all the other thrift stores do. They would take computers that people would bring in and they would just put them on the shelves for maybe 20, 30, $40. They used to get computers like that all the time. But because of that data breach, now they have an actual division at Goodwill where they refurbish the computers themselves. I'm gonna try, dabblers. I do have somebody coming for a computer probably within the next hour. So once they message me, I'll probably have to end this. But I'm trying to do as many of these as I can a day to hopefully mitigate the boredom that a lot of you might be having. And I get it. I mean, I'm the same way right now, but I'm trying to look at the positives. And there are a lot of positives out there right now. There are a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that you could even be doing now. Delivery drivers, oh my gosh, they're hiring delivery drivers from everything from Uber Eats to Lyft. Well, not Lyft, but Uber Eats. What's the other one? DoorDash. All these companies, Amazon Flex is hiring because people have to shop online now. So there is still opportunity out there. Grocery stores, you have to be able to go to the grocery store. They're hiring people. Is there risk? Yes, there is definitely risk in any of these jobs. But if you need to work, I mean, that's a great opportunity out there. I mean, you could listen to people like Dave Ramsey, they'll rant on about this all day long. And the way I look at it, let me readjust this real quick. The way I look at it is in life, there's an element of risk in anything and everything you do. I mean, you run the risk of, you know, of getting hit by a car just walking out into the street. But isn't that kind of the fun in life is having some risk? You know, for many years I always played it safe. You know, I'm a very skittish person by nature, and that's one thing that I am going to focus on is getting out there, taking more risks, because I just don't, and I think I've missed out on a lot in life not taking risks. Mark Covington asks, if any thrift stores close indefinitely, what would happen to any remaining merchandise in their stores? That is a very good question, and I can only guess as to what would happen, but I think one of two things would happen. Either they would donate it to another thrift store, one that's staying open, or they would just dump it depending on the quality of the merchandise. But I wouldn't worry too much about it because I don't remember who it was. Somebody pointed out to me that chances are most of the thrift stores will stay open because once everything is back open and everything's a go, they're going to have an influx of all these donations. And I think they'll be fine. Honestly, I don't think you have to worry about the thrift stores going out. I'm going to read a few of these comments here. These were left from other videos. Whoop, wrong one. Come on. There we go. Okay, so it says Wiggles Tail 2008. I wish you had said something about the ladders. Now I have smoke detectors way over my head, but I started being a hair afraid of climbing as after I turned 60. I think I need to get about 3 feet off the ground so my step stool won't cut out. This was in reference to the ladders that I showed when we were putting up the curtains. And yeah, those are a little bit on the rickety side. Those are what they call light duty ladders. Those are ones that we actually got at Home Depot. And they're only rated for 225 pounds. So I know a lot of people out there weigh more than 225, and you really wouldn't be able to use those. Matter of fact, when Dad used to go up on there, it used to scare me because he is significantly over that weight. You're better off not skipping on the ladder and buying a good quality one. Dabblers of Fair. Hey, Mr. Roy, you know what's funny? The one vlog you did where you were hyped up on coffee, where you kept saying, feeling pumped so much, I'm feeling pumped. How about you? Well, not so much right now. I had my last cup of coffee this morning around 10, so I'm having that like caffeine withdrawal now. And I actually like that because that's what helps me sleep. I don't drink coffee at all in the afternoon anymore. He was laughing hard. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure everybody gets a ride out of that. You guys can have some fun at my expense. That's okay. I give you permission. Sounds like mom is vacuuming downstairs. Oh boy. Danny K, I wonder if there'll be any yard sales this year. I'm positive of it. And you want to know something? It's going to be the same issue with the thrift stores. People are spring cleaning now because, let's face it, they don't have anything better to do. I've been spring cleaning. Mom's been spring cleaning. It means we're emptying our closets out. We're getting rid of all the old junk that we haven't been using. And we're probably either going to donate it or probably going to put it into a yard sale. And I don't know about you, but I fully intend on going out to those yard sales every Saturday this year and finding some really, really good scores. Hey, awesome computers. Nice to see you. We got 12 people here, 8 likes. And I'll show off one more album while there's a lull in the conversation. Next one I got, Camelot. This is the one with Richard Harris and Vanessa Redgrave. Fun fact, this is the same Richard Harris that played Dumbledore in the first 2 Harry Potter movies before, unfortunately, he passed away. And in my opinion, was the best of the Dumbledores. Nothing against the second one, and I can't even remember his name off the top of my head. But you always seem to like the original better, and I honestly think Richard Harris did a great job. If you guys want to see what he actually looked like, and this was from 1967, it's a picture of him right there in the middle. And you could see like a caricature of him because he played King Arthur. And I will show you this record because something really cool about older records, if you notice, look at how thick that LP is. I don't know if I can get a good angle. Yeah, see how thick that LP is compared to a modern one? So older LPs used more vinyl, and they were actually a lot sturdier. It tended to last longer too. The early ones like this, believe it or not, a lot of them were made out of melted down 35 millimeter film, and it made a very, very good chemical for making albums, and they did not scratch very easily either. Compare that to a 70s album like this one. This is the Al Stewart. Take a look at how thin that is. Only about as thick as maybe a few sheets of paper. So they really did make records better in the 50s and the 60s versus the 70s and the 80s. All right, folks, we're going to end this at 30 minutes because my person is coming. So a couple more questions, and then don't worry, folks. We're going to do more of these, definitely. Okay, have you ever used a weighted vest? I am very light, 140 to 150, and I'm looking for a way to add more resistance for workouts. I've never used a weighted vest. I've heard people recommend them. The only problem for me is I am very bony already up here. I mean, I'll show you, honestly. I mean, you can see my collarbone. I'm 200 pounds, and you can actually see my collarbone here. So for me to wear something like that, especially on a daily basis, would be very painful. I'd probably have to, honestly, to do something like that, I'd probably have to add more weight to my body. That's nice, Danny. My mom and I still, I'm 36, almost 37, and my mother and I still go to yard sales together. There is nothing wrong with that. We really have a lot of fun. And I am going to end it here. But before I do, I want to tell you guys something very cool that my church is doing. This Sunday, church in my area, we're having a drive-in Easter Sunday service. Basically, what's going to happen is we're all going to drive up onto the grass. Our pastor, I assume, is going to be outside on the pulpit, weather permitting, and they're going to broadcast it over FM radio. So we can still practice our social distancing, but we still will be able to have church service. And if you're in my area, this is Churchland Assembly of God on Twin Pines Road in the Churchland area of Portsmouth. I don't have the link to share to the actual church, but it's a Church and Assembly of God. You can just Google that up. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.